All right, so it is time. So today I'm going to be talking about a couple things. One, I'm going to be talking about why there's a difference in these pop reports for players in the same class. So you see on your left is Luka Doncic's rookie optic card. The pop count has slightly gone up, so it's about 4,000 now. But for the sake of this, say 3,900. And Trey Young, which is basically less than half, is 1,600. And then next you have Michael Porter Jr., who's much less than that. And then after that, you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And I think these are going to be the major players. Outside of that is DeAndre Ayton, and I believe DeAndre Ayton has a lower population than these guys who are PSA 10 optic. And then optic hollows have a much lower population than that. So the real reason it really has more to do with players that start out very well and doing very well early. People are more likely to grade them. And also players who were high draft picks. So first round, probably in the top 10 picks, more likely in the top 5. So Luka and Trey Young meet this. They were drafted in the top 10. Actually, let me look this up here. So the draft, DeAndre Ayton was drafted number 1. Luka was drafted number 3. Jaren Jackson Jr. drafted 4. That's the one I haven't looked at their pop counts, but I'm pretty sure they're probably in between Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and DeAndre Ayton. And then also you have Trey Young, who was drafted 5th. Anybody else who's notable is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's drafted 11th, and Michael Porter Jr. So you're more likely to have people like, honestly, it's almost in that order. You do have DeAndre Ayton. He has a pop count of 427 optic base PSA 10s. And then for hollows, he has 92 that are PSA 10. So he's the only exception, but it pretty much almost goes down the line. So Luka Doncic was drafted 3rd. His pop count is actually, I believe, 4,027 now. So the numbers really need to be updated. But the optic hollow is 273 for PSA 10. So, it just makes sense to go after the optic hollow. The other one is for base for Trey Young is the next one. He's basically the next guy in the draft but now it's 1,786. So that's the new update there over to 1,669. And optic hollow is 151. Then it is going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with actually next is Michael Porter Jr. with a pop count of this actually it says 717, and then optic hollow is 132. And then 685 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But the updated one is 1,069. And the optic hollow is 143. So that's a little bit more than MPJ. And then Ayton is much less. So, yeah, the reason is normally by draft, like where you were drafted. So if there was some guy who was kind of emerging as a star, and it was a second round pick, they'll probably have less than that. The reason why Ayton probably is graded less is, one, it's taking him longer to actually develop, and it normally takes centers longer to develop. So that's why his pop counts are so low. The other thing is Luka won Rookie of the Year, and also Trey Young was the runner-up. So those are the main two people. So people were just buying up their cards and then submitting them in for grading. When the truth of the matter is, it just didn't really make sense to do Like it just makes sense that people just got those cards, and a lot of these other players, a lot of times they just skipped over and threw them in a box somewhere, so more of these cards would get scratched up. But I do believe when they release sets, the cards, like people who are drafted in the top 5, they're harder to get versus everybody else. So I believe they technically make less of them, but I could be wrong. They could actually make more just more cards in general of the top 5 draft picks, which also could be a major contributor to higher pop counts. So if there's someone that everybody's expecting, like a Zion, like this year's draft, I believe is Cade Cunningham, expect their pop counts to be much higher. The other thing is, it just many of these guys like Shea or Michael Porter Jr. may end up more in a smaller market where they're taking chances on players and trying to develop them. That's another factor as well. So people may not know as much about them because they don't follow the smaller market. Well, ESPN and other networks don't really follow the small network teams unless it's local. So that is really the issues going on, and it's not just for Optic. It's for Select. It's for Prism. It's for everything. You see this difference in cards when it comes to pop reports. The best thing to do is to really just assume or come close to assuming that these cards are going to be the same, or they printed around the same amount for all of them, typically. And that is a high likelihood that the pop count will eventually catch up. It's just maybe people sent way more Lucas than Shea's, but then, Shea starts developing into a star, and then a lot more Shea's get graded, and you really see this major dramatic increase in pop report. The other thing is, the Optic Hollows really haven't increased that much. They're really just increasing the base. And then also the other thing they're doing is they are increasing the amount of parallels that they add to each set. Like every year they seem to add more parallels. And then also they try to do other kind of bases as well, like other base cards with like autographs, and they're the sticker autographs. So, let's say Shea Gilgeous-Alexander does a signing, and he signs a sticker, and they like make copies of it. So one of the things is, so I'll name some of the sets for our other parallels things for Optic. So they have the base, they have the autograph, then they have, and these normally have lower pops, so the autographs, they're harder to find, and a lot of this stuff is still buried in a lot of wax. So autograph blue, autograph choice black and gold, fast break, autograph gold, and then you have green, hollow, autograph pink, autograph purple, black velocity, blue velocity, checkerboard, choice black and gold, choice dragon, choice red, fast break blue, fast break gold, fast break hollow, fast break pink, purple, fast break red, gold vinyl 1 of 1, green, hollow, hyper, lime green, orange, pink velocity, premium box set autograph, purple stars, red, shock, white sparkle. The shock actually has pretty high pop, 297, and then the hollow is 143. I'm looking at Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. It's just one of those things where they just start adding more and more parallels to it, which is also going to increase the pop count. And this is just Optic. This isn't just, it could include, you could really say the same thing with Prism, and Select as well. So that's something to really look at. So if you're looking at a class, especially 2017, 18, 19, 20, any of those classes, and you're like, oh, I'm going to buy this person because their pot reports are very low for the base. You have to think about, okay, well, did it take them a while longer to develop? Or were they like Luka, and in their second year, they won it. Well, first year they won rookie year, and then the second year they basically made first All NBA first team or second team. Or maybe if they made third team, or maybe if they just straight up was an all-star in the second year. If not, then there could be that really could be the reason why they have a lower pop count, and it's going to take a while for them to catch up. And eventually you think, oh, I'm only getting this card that's only has a pop count of 100 and something, and then you're going to hold it long term, and 2 years later it's going to be at Luka's or more. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, so that should be it. If you liked the video or feel like it was useful in any way, shape, or form, please comment, subscribe, and also like, and also share it with other people that you know, and other people you may think that it could be helpful for as well.